I'm Althea, also known as ALR Keaton. My pronouns are they, them. And today I'm just going to do a little Valentine's Day stream, a little felting. Got my nice felting pad, got my felting needles safely tucked away, and just going to make something a little nice for my partner because my partner has to be at the dentist today, and that's not really the most fun thing to be doing on Valentine's Day. So, just gonna make a little gift for them. And yeah, if people want to chat or anything like that, you are more than welcome to. I'm just gonna be chilling, doing a little felting, making a little heart. Tearing some felt down. Enjoying the amazing sounds of felting. Because if you haven't felted before, like, one, I highly recommend trying it. And two, the sound is wonderful. Like, just so... It's like Velcro, but more satisfying. It's like Velcro, but you're like making something instead of ripping something apart. So it's not going to be a white heart in the end, but always good to start off with, well, usually with core wool. This is like just regular sheep wool, just, shorn off a sheep many years ago. But it's what I have the most of right now, so it's cheaper than colored wool. And then once I've got the shape I want, I'll put a little bit of colored wool over it. And, yeah. You won't even know that the white is there. I hope my mic is picking up the felting sound. I assume it probably is. I know, it's usually pretty good about picking up the sound of my cats playing in the background whenever I'm recording or streaming anything. But the cats will not be putting in an appearance today because they're not allowed in this room. Right now, they're just kind of being cozy and taking a nap. If they wake up, you might get to hear them crying outside the office for attention. But this shouldn't take too long, so... Go back to chilling with my other Valentines when I'm done. But yeah, I like to stream from a room where the cats are allowed. Like if I'm doing digital art or something like that. But with felting, they cannot be trusted with it. They they will be on this so fast. Which is cute, but definitely not helpful for felting. If I had enough wool, I could make some bigger hearts and like make them some cat toy hearts, but maybe next Valentine's Day I will invest in more wool and make them some wool cat toys. But they will just have to make do with the dozens and dozens of other toys that they have. But yeah, a while back I made, pardon my arm here, I made some little snow folks. And you can tell this is kind of falling apart a little. And that would be because, I think it was Gideon. My cats are Gideon and Little Bear. And Gideon got into this room for just a couple minutes. We had a problem with the door not closing all the way. And she got in here and just like immediately snagged a snow person and just like ran off with it. Because cats like wool. But even when they do things they really should not do, you can't help but forgive them. They're, I can't really get mad at them even. They're just so cute. And such good little cuddle bugs. They make it impossible to get up in the morning. So right now I'm just kind of shaping this into like basically just a more solid form. There's really no point in like making it into a heart shape at this point. But just keep going until it's more compact, a little more firm, and then we can start shaping up. And apologies if I'm like moving around too much. I'm trying to hold still, but I am in a swivel chair. And that can definitely, well, one, it just kind of moves around on its own just from me felting, like the force of the needle going into the wool and all of that. But also just, I've got like one foot on the ground and one foot in the air, and it just makes me want to swivel. Next year I'll have to remember. I teach felting classes too, and I should have thought to do a felting class for Valentine's Day. Have kids felt hearts, because it's just such a neat little thing you can do. But maybe next year. I already did some like jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween, and I'm gonna do a workshop for making colorful eggs in the springtime. Snow folks I did right around Christmas. So basically, like, if there's a holiday, I can think of a felting project for it. Because you can make pretty much anything just out of wool and these special little needles. It's fascinating. So yeah, this is getting pretty firm. Alright. So I'm going to start flattening it just a little bit. I'm going to, make like a little, like a cartoony heart, like a Valentine's Day heart, rather than an anatomical heart. One, because it's simpler. Much, much simpler. and like doesn't require as much wool. Also, I'm just like running low on colors and all of that good stuff. And just want this to be like a fairly short stream. And I do have somewhere, I haven't been able to find it since I moved house, unfortunately, but I did make an anatomical heart once. And that took a good while and a good lot of different colors to get anything remotely approaching an anatomical heart. It is cool, though. Like, I need to dig it up. I need to find that. Or, you know, buy some more wool and make another one. Because it's really cool. Just like a soft little fuzzy heart you can hold in your hand. Who wouldn't want that? So I'm just kind of flattening it down into like a thick pancake type shape. Still kind of round, but you just gotta keep poking it into shape. So I'll start forming the heart. We've been looking for like those little conversation hearts candies this year and have not been able to get them anywhere. Which, like, it's not the end of the world. You know, they're not even the tastiest of candies. Let's be fair. But there's something very charming about them. I really enjoy conversation hearts. So we're going for kind of the style of, like, obviously a big conversation heart. Like, this would chip your tooth if it were an actual candy. Something this size with that texture. I think it'll probably still be too big to do any, like, lettering on. But, we'll see. We'll see. See how it all turns out. So I'm basically just trying to bring it to a bit of a point here. I'm gonna take it to pretty much the shape I want it before I put on the colored wool, but I'm not gonna go like all the way because, you know, every time I poke the needle in there, it changes it a little. So when I apply the color, that is also going to change it. And start separating out the looms. It's just such a good sound. Such a good sound. Yeah, starting to take shape. Starting to look a little more recognizably like a Valentine's Day heart. So it really doesn't take that much to get it to start forming up, because like we started off with basically this texture, and already just a few minutes in we've got this lovely little nugget. Okay, let's punch it down just a little bit more, and then we'll add some color. Hopefully I've got enough. Okay, let's see. Got some pink. I don't know that that'll be enough, though. That seems pretty... Yeah, it'd still be pretty translucent. Let's see. Oops. Got yellow. Yellow might work. Apologies for hitting the camera. It's all a bit precarious. The setup is fairly small, so... This, I think, is also, like, not dyed. I think this is just, like, kind of naturally yellow. I guess somebody's sheep was a blonde. That's pretty light, though. Yeah, I don't know that I... I don't know that I have enough of any other color, though. Got a good amount of blue. Let's see. Nice candy blue heart, perhaps. It's a nice color. That might work. I think this is a slightly, well, it might be the same color. Or very slightly different, but I think if we layer these, I think we should have enough. All right. Blue heart, then. So as you can see, on this first pass, still gonna see a fair bit of white coming through, and that is fine. That's why we layer. Ooh, my needle's getting kind of bent. Time to invest in some more wool and some more needles. Kind of wrap it up like a present. And like with basically any form of art, like, it's gonna look worse before it looks better, you know? Like, this will be lovely when it's done, but until then, it's gonna look kind of awkward and weird. And that is something that one just kind of has to come to terms with as an artist, or, you know, just a person, really. Sometimes things have to be ugly before they can be pretty. You just gotta stick with it, yeah? Stick with it through the less pretty moments. Or else that's all you've got, you know? Like, if you don't stick with it through the ugly moments, you won't really ever get to the pretty moments. So sometimes you just gotta believe that it's gonna turn out. I think that's really, like, one of the hardest lessons to learn as, like, an artist. It's just, you know, sticking with it even when it's a little bit ugly. And we have a spam bot. Spam bot, please go away. I will block you. Alright. Thanks for tuning in, spam bot. I hope you're enjoying the stream. I don't know how they determine, like, what streams to target, because, like, I cannot imagine there are many viewers for this, like, if any. So really, like, who are they spamming? Oh boy, that's very, very crooked. Definitely time for some new needles. New needles, some new wool. It's starting to come together. But yeah, you can kind of see, like, why I didn't bother shaping it perfectly. Because, yeah, once you start adding other layers to it, it's like, starts losing its shape. You gotta go back into it and everything. But, I mean, just, like, with painting, really. Like, just build up layers, thin little layers, and it'll get darker and darker. Less and less white will show through. Smoother and smoother. Definitely still get a little bald patch there. And the nice thing with felting is that it's very forgiving. Like, you can mess up pretty badly in felting and still pull it out, you know? Like, still get it to turn out. And that's pretty impressive. It's not like with scratchboard or inking where it's like, oh, you made a mistake. You're gonna be living with that. That's just part of the artwork now. So I guess felting and inking both have very, like, different, because I teach classes in both, they have very different kind of lessons around making mistakes. Because, like, with felting, the lesson is pretty much you can always fix it. Like, just keep working through it. Or you can pull it off, start over, you can pick it apart, start over. Yeah, so it's basically like, your mistakes are fixable. You can change this up however you want. You can turn it around. And with inking, it's more like, mistakes will happen. And they will be permanent. And you just gotta figure out how to work with them. So very, very different philosophies of making mistakes, but both have value. Apologies for that loud noise. Something just fell over untouched. Okay. Start covering up this bald patch. I think these blues are slightly different, maybe, but really not, like, noticeably different. I think it'll be just fine. A lot of art, at least for me, is also just, like, working with what you got. You work with the supplies you have on hand. If you only have so much blue, you're only gonna have so much blue. Let's covering up this side. You can see, just like as we build up the layers, it's just getting bluer and bluer, and you can see less and less of the white coming through, which is what we want. If you keep going, eventually it's, just, it's blue. It's like you never had white under there at all. Just kind of the hope, kind of the aim. We'll see if I have enough blue for that. But we will do our best. We will do our best. That should be my new artist statement. We shall do our best. So right now I'm still a little bit concerned about like trying to keep it in a heart shape, but I'm not too concerned about it because once I've got all the blue layered on there that I want, then I'll go back and shape it more and it'll kind of carry the blue along with it. Such a good sound it makes. It's really such a pleasing art form. Like, it feels so nice because it's just like soft wool. It sounds so good. It looks good. Like, felting's great. Felting is awesome. And like, you can bring things together. Like, obviously you can spend also hours and hours on something, and some artists absolutely do and make like just fantastically beautiful things that take hours or days to make. But you can also do a 90-minute class with kids and have them have something awesome to bring home that they'll love. So that is always, it's very satisfying. It has very like instant gratification. Like, this has come together quite quickly. And I think my partner will really like it. Be a nice little Valentine's Day gift. Okay, I think that's probably blue enough. I'll set the rest of that blue aside to have yet another pile of wool so small there's very little I can do with it. So, gonna start shaping it again. I think this is the better needle. These used to, I think, be color-coded, but I think all the color came off. So now I just kind of have to guess which is the coarse needle, which is the fine needle. I just want to keep kind of flipping it so that I'm not getting like super compressed on one side and then not on the other. Like, I just want to try to keep it even as much as I can. Try to keep as much shape like, keep it as symmetrical as possible, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it's a bit of a challenge to you to make something and talk about it at the same time. It's getting fairly heart-shaped, I think. Let's see. Maybe bring these lobes down a little bit. Bring it in a little more there. Just trying to keep an eye on the shape. Really, my major concern with this is I just want it to look very distinctly like a heart. I don't want my partner to have to look at it and be like, what is that? So not aiming for, like, great artistry today. Just something straightforward and clear and direct. This is a heart. It is a Valentine. From me to you. And hey, if you need a last-minute Valentine's gift for someone and you have felting supplies. Like, I know I haven't been giving super, like, step-by-step instructions, because this isn't really, like, a how-to, but I'm sure if you have at least, like, basic familiarity with the felting process, you can probably just figure it out from watching and from doing. Oh, that's coming together pretty well. Okay. That's looking pretty distinctly heart-shaped, which is precisely the aim. Whoops. Easy to bobble. A heart is a hard thing to hold on to. Okay. So maybe just clean up this a little bit. Really want to make sure that separation is nice and distinct. We might have room for just a little something. Not like full-on lettering, because that would be awful. It would be way too hard. Like, I'm good. I'm not that good. But I'm good enough to do maybe a little message. Right? I'm gonna go, yeah, let's go across. heart within the heart. That's pretty heart-shaped. I think my partner will be smart enough to figure that one out. Okay. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. For, yeah, a tiny little message on a tiny little heart. Let's kind of tamp the whole thing down a little bit. Okay. Okay. Maybe move a little, or add a little bit there to make it a little more even. Then I think we're just about done. Quick and easy. There we go. And maybe a tiny bit more at the tips of the U. Oops. Okay, and again, just kind of tamp it down a little bit, because that, like, as I add to it, it basically makes little indentations. So I'm going to try to even it out at least a little bit. right. I think we got it. I think we are good. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, have a happy Valentine's Day, and hope to see you again soon.